Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we are giving some much needed love to my OBS Powerstroke. I've been neglecting this one for a while. Let me show you what's going on. You'll notice behind this tire, there is a pretty good sized puddle. That is diesel coming from my rear fuel tank. Now this has been leaking for a really long time. In fact, a few weeks ago, I got a Snapchat memory of this thing leaking a year ago. So it's been a little over a year now that this thing's been leaking and we need to take care of it. So that's what we're gonna do today. I got my replacement tank. Let's dive into swapping this. Well, in true 7.3 fashion, it sat for a week, so now it doesn't want to start. Next thing on the to-do list for this truck is going to be a battery maintainer and a block heater combo. Stay tuned for that video. It's gonna really help you 7.3 owners. All right, while the old batteries charge up, I wanna talk about this fuel tank. This is just a Dorman replacement fuel tank. I went with a Dorman one because it's the cheapest and it's the only one that comes coated. All the other ones are bare metal and I didn't wanna deal with painting it. There is quite a few options for fuel tanks on this truck. So you could do a Bronco fuel tank swap, a 30-gallon fuel tank swap, but then you have to modify your sender to fit. It's not super hard. There's lots of how-tos out there. The reason I went with just a factory size replacement tank is because I'm not quite sure what I'm doing with this truck, and I was so back and forth on it for so long that I was just like, we need to fix this leak. So I bought this and just said, screw it, we're just gonna make it easy on ourselves. So this would be a perfect time to do an e-fuel setup. I wanted to do one and I was really hoping I could work something out. I just can't afford it right now. It's just not in the books for me. So maybe down the road we'll do it. Right now we're just doing a tank swap and we are replacing the filter in the fuel bowl.
Tomorrow.
Okay, I just decided to wait till tomorrow to do this. We threw the block heater on and the battery charger, so it should fire up right now. I did remember that the rear tank does not have a whole lot of fuel in it. The gauge is really low. We're gonna actually let it idle outside for a little bit.
But do not let your truck, a diesel, sit and idle.
We don't got much fuel in this rear tank at all, so I would love to drain it as much as possible, but I don't know what we're gonna be able to do on that. Well, that ran out of fuel faster than I thought it was going to, and I didn't catch it in time, so I really hope I can switch tanks and this thing will start. Well, let's see what happens. Oh. Wakey, wakey. Okay, we're gonna have to go quick. We might as well just push it inside. Let's wake this thing up. Woo! Got it. Oh boy, that's hitting the bench for sure. Nice, all right. All right guys, it's time to dive into this. It is going to be one dirty, nasty job. First thing we're gonna do is we're going to drop the exhaust. Part of me thinks it's time to grow up and not run a 5-inch exhaust anymore, but this is what I have. It's together. No sense of buying another exhaust if it ain't leaking, so. There we go. There we go. All right. Man, it sure pays to not live in the Rust Belt. All right. Wow, that works really well. Ugh. This thing's gonna fall on me. Come on, you big bitch. I'm almost 30 years old. Do I really need a 5-inch exhaust? I don't know, man. Look at that bottleneck. Is this really necessary? Alrighty guys, now we have to deal with dropping the fuel tank. It's gonna be a little tricky. Let me kind of show you on the new tank because it's gonna be a little bit complicated to see underneath the truck. I can't access any of this in the truck right now unless I pull the bed because we got a cross member here, and so there's no way to get my hands in here to disconnect any of these hoses, including the rollover valve breather, and then there's an electrical connector and 2 hoses up here. It shouldn't be super hard to do, but the problem is we're gonna have to drop the tank down some, then I'll have to crawl up over the axle and reach out and unplug all these things. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get to any of the connectors on the top of the fuel tank before we start to drop it, and if not, we'll drop her. Okay, we got electrical connector, 2 hoses, and then there's a breather over there, which I'll try and show. Nice, that was easy. Okay, breather hose. Just came off the clip itself. Trying to get those little tabs. You see that? This tab right here, it also connects over here, so I'm hoping if I just go like this. Okay, some research says we need the fancy removal tools. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in there with them. All right, there's no way that's happening. So, we're gonna drop the tank. All right, let's drop some bolts. Now we gotta drop this thing slowly but surely. Watch out for the filler hose and the fuel lines still. While dropping the tank, I was able to remove the skid plate one by one, and that made supporting just the tank so much easier. All right, so the fuel tank's got lips on it, and it's catching on the frame. So I'm gonna pop it over to the driver's side where the filler neck is, so it falls on the one side, and then I can drop it down, hopefully avoid the filler neck, and then also be able to drop the fuel lines at the same time. Now we just have to disconnect the fuel lines from the tank. Ah, there we go. Okay, that's the secret. Okay, so you take it, you pinch it, push that thing in as far as you can, then you go on the other side and pull on it. Oh, please just work. Oh, got it. Yes. Oh. We did it. We got it out. That defeated me. Towards the end, that was rough, man. Trying to disconnect those lines, that sucked. Oh, man. All right, I'm starving. It's lunchtime. Yeah, let's grab a bite to eat. Take a break from this.
Moments later.
I decided to pressure wash the skid plates and the fuel tank itself around the fuel sender and the breather just to make it easier to take it off and to not put gross things on the new fuel tank. Yeah, I'm gonna bring everything inside and then we'll start swapping things over to the new tank. Gonna try and take the breather out. Get the filler neck hose off. Now we just need to get the sender off the old tank. Yeah, there's still a good amount of diesel in here. Oh my God, where's my filter? Where's my pickup? Okay, so like I was saying, there's supposed to be a little pickup filter. It's a little umbrella looking thing. There's a little screen on it and it catches like big sediment before it goes into the fuel system. I don't know why I don't have one. That's kind of crazy. I'm gonna wipe this assembly down and then we will put the breather valve in and I guess the filler neck hose on. There she goes. Very nice. Alrighty, we're back. We got our parts. This little pickup, just a tiny little screen. It's not really stopping a whole lot, but that explains why I have more fuel in the tank than I thought, and why the truck died so early is because it was missing this much fuel. So there's probably still like 3 or 4 gallons in that old tank that I gotta figure out what to do with. But now that we got this part, should just be able to slip her on here like so. Now we can put this assembly in the fuel tank. Can't forget the O-ring, that's very important. Now it's time to install the new tank. I decided to manually lift the fuel tank and cradle it in between the frame so I can install the skid plates easier. This worked really well because I could focus on moving the hoses and connectors around while putting up just the tank, and then just focus on putting in the skid plates instead of doing all of that at the same time. After that, we had to hook up the fuel lines. Okay, I know this one's the return because of its size. Okay, that's locked in. I do gotta get the locking clips in there, so I'm gonna find those. Okay, we got our clips spread in a flathead screwdriver. I'm hoping these are kind of in my way. There it goes. No, I was able to slip it on there. Oh yeah, done. That was very painless. Yep. All right, cool. Perfect. All that is done. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. She's in there. Sweet. All right, now what we gotta do is get the filler neck in, and then we can get the exhaust back in. All right, before we put the gargantuan exhaust back in, we're going to polish up the hangers and polish up the exhaust tips so everyone knows that I'm a big old diesel bro, you know? Alrighty, we got the exhaust installed, so that means everything on the ground is now done. Now all we gotta do is replace the fuel filter in the fuel bowl, so let's dive into that. Okay, so it turns out the aftermarket filters come with their replaceable lid, and the Motorcraft filters do not. So I don't have a lid, and I have no way of getting a lid, so I gotta go to O'Reilly's and buy an aftermarket filter and not run a Motorcraft one. Kinda sucks, but whatever. I'm gonna go to O'Reilly's, grab that filter real quick. Okay, Wix filter. All right, let's get this in. Okay, fuel filter is replaced. Now we just have to get this thing to start again. There's fuel in the fuel bowl, so hopefully it starts pretty well. But we do have to pressurize the lines again after it sucked itself dry earlier today. So I got the battery charger on it. We're just gonna crank till it goes. Alright, we're gonna let the batteries charge up again, and I think I'm also gonna plug in the block heater. Let's let it sit for a minute, see what happens. Alright, the batteries charged up a little bit. The oil temp is at 70 something degrees. Let's open the door, turn the fan on, and try again. I really don't want to buy any batteries, but I'm probably gonna have to. I think I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit, and I'm gonna hop in the shower and see what happens after that.
Tomorrow.
Alrighty guys, we have let this thing sit overnight completely with the battery charger and the block heater on, so hopefully it starts pretty good. now that we got the thing to start, all we have left to do is go take it to the gas station and put some diesel in that tank. Check for some leaks. So far, so good. Sweet. Oh, that hose clamp's loose. Uh-oh. Alrighty, I'm not gonna flip the tank until we get back home in case there's some air bubbles in those lines. I don't want to deal with the hiccup on it. So we'll get home and then in the driveway we'll swap tanks and see what happens. Alrighty, we're back home. Let's flip the switch and see if she sputters. Nice. Look at that, going up to full. It's been a real long time since the rear tank has had a full tank. All right, we're gonna turn it off and turn it on, make sure it starts good again. Oh yeah. Awesome. It's gonna be really nice not having to stress about running out of fuel. So it's gonna be nice to be able to be at my full capacity again. Placing the fuel filter made a big difference, so maybe you guys should do that more often than I did, which was never in the 6 years of ownership, so that was really bad on my part. I'm gonna start doing that more regularly because she woke up a bit. She woke up a little bit. I'm excited. I'm excited to tow with this thing again. I can go long distances and have some power, so we're gonna end it here. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this motivated you to work on your truck or helped you do a fuel tank swap. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.